regularly speaks on issues of economy, foreign policy, civilization and culture. And today we are going to hear him on Op Sindoor. Of course, Op Sindoor has caught the nation's imagination like no issue. Day in, day out, I think we are discussing this, and in fact, in some sense, internalizing what has happened in the last few weeks. And this is going to live with us for a very long time, because it is that critical turning point in the nation's history. And everybody has a view. I think all of you have been living through this period, and still we are living through this period. So it's great to listen to Gurumurthy ji on this very important subject, and I want to thank him for that. We have been discussing within the VIF the different dimensions of Op Sindoor, but this is the first time that we are having a public discussion, and this is being initiated by Gurumurthy ji. Of course, a few aspects which are very clear now to all of us, and the entire nation agrees on that today we are in a new paradigm of national security. A new national security doctrine has been enunciated. There are several aspects to it, like responding to terrorism, etc. But I think one of the most important aspects is calling the nuclear bluff in our response, which had held us back for a long time. We also saw that the military and political leadership was in sync with each other. They were on the same page, and that was very clearly evident in the development since the Pahalgam terror attack and during the Op Sindoor itself. It's also clear that this was a very unusual and unique war that we fought. It was the first high-tech war, what we talk about in the context of revolution in military affairs. And I think this is that kind of a war that we fought. And this was fought in the backdrop of new technologies, battlefield transparency, standoff weapons, network-centric warfare. And we also, while fighting this war, there was this great control or calibration over the escalation ladder, which is also a very important aspect of this conflict. And the experiment of jointness and integration in the armed forces, which started some years ago, which we have been discussing for a very long time, I think it has begun to show the results. And this has passed its first test very nicely. Now, of course, we are in a new normal, and we have to prepare ourselves for this. So whether it is in the diplomatic aspects, or it is the aspect of public diplomacy, narratives, or military preparedness, I think there are many aspects that we have to sustain the momentum that has been built. And it has, I think, the last, from my side, it has also established and highlighted the urgent need for Atmanirbharta. General Vij is here, and you have seen his book, Alone in the Ring, and I have started quoting that title, that in this world we are alone, and we are alone in the ring. So we can have lots of our engagements, particularly diplomatically, etc. So this reliance on engagements or on strategic partnerships, etc., they will only serve a limited purpose. But essentially, you are alone in the ring. And I think once we realize that, then the Atmanirbharta, and Atmanirbharta not just in the context of defense, but Atmanirbharta overall, that self-reliance, I think Op Sindoor has given a boost to that and highlighted and established and demonstrated the need for that. So I think we are today in a new normal and we have to prepare for this. So I won't take more of your time and I request Gurumurthy ji to kindly take the floor.
Thank you, Arvindji. Good evening to all. Some couple of weeks back, or maybe more, I wrote 2 articles on Operation Sindoor, and the first of which was titled as Operation Sindoor, a paradigm shift from candle lights to BrahMos. How this paradigm shift occurred. And of course, in the next part of the article, I had dealt with the kind of preparations that had gone into it. It didn't happen in one day. And seeing this, the governor of Kerala asked me to come and deliver a lecture in the Raj Bhavan in Kerala. I was surprised because not many people, particularly governors, will read 2 articles which ran over almost 4,500 words. You know, Arun Shourie and me are old-time journalists. We don't know how to restrict an article in 1,000 words, which is the culture today. So, not many people would care to read such long articles, but that governor had read the articles and he was very keen that I came and delivered a lecture. Of course, I had conformed to the discipline that the Raj Bhavan requires and delivered the lecture, and that became a huge controversy. How can Gurumurthy be asked to deliver lecture in Raj Bhavan? He is no expert on any subject. And also he carries the impression of being an RSS ideologue. And the Chief Minister of Kerala put out a tweet that how can an RSS ideologue be made to speak in Raj Bhavan? Then I countered the tweet by saying that RSS has not cared to appoint me as an ideologue. It is only CM Vijayan who has appointed me as the RSS ideologue. This is the way in which discourse is going on in this country. It's very unfortunate. Of course, we are a democratic country. We are a chaotically democratic country. In fact, J.K. Galbraith characterized our country once, of course. He had very inadequate knowledge of India. He said, India is a functioning anarchy. And we used to quote it against us, as if it is in our favor. So this is how the public discourse in India has been going on, with the negative content becoming the core of our being. So like that, what happened in Operation Sindoor also. But I decided not to focus only on Operation Sindoor or Pahalgam. You have to have a helicopter view of what is the phenomenon we are dealing with. And so I thought that I would first say what I am going to say. First, we must understand what is Pakistan. Unless we know about Pakistan, which the current generation probably will be hardly aware, we cannot understand Pahalgam. And we cannot understand whether Operation Sindoor is a comma or a full stop. Every time we thought we will have a full stop with Pakistan, Pakistan has turned it into a comma. So, we must first understand Pakistan. I will spend some time on describing Pakistan, which only very few people in India, of course, people like our foreign policy experts know what it is, but it is a closely guarded secret by them. And it is not let into public discourse because it can create complications between 2 communities here. It has nothing to do with the Indian Muslims, have nothing to do with Pakistan, but we are connecting them, saying if we talk against Pakistan, these people may misunderstand us. This is the contortion, the conflict, the distortion, and even perversion in our national discourse. So I would talk about Pakistan. Second is India is a contrast. It is not only a contrast, it has always decided to misjudge Pakistan. It is not that it accidentally misjudged Pakistan. It would decide to misjudge Pakistan if there is an opportunity even today. That's the second point. The third point is how Operation Sindoor is a paradigm shift. As I said, from the candlelights procession which we took when Bombay was being burnt for 48 hours on television, to to the ignominy of the entire country and the army. We were taking candle lights, calling for peace. And from that onwards, see the shift. It is BrahMos. That was the response. From candle lights to BrahMos, how the response shifted and how it happened and what were the preparations that went into it. Unless we see it, we cannot see Operation Sindoor as a standalone proposition. Next, there is a 10-year, there are 6 very important prop-ups without which we could never have undertaken such a project as we did in Operation Sindoor, which I will explain in detail. It is all assisted by Pakistan's fall also as a country. Many of us may not be aware that in 1960, the GDP of Pakistan and India was equal. Today we are 10 times ahead. And of course in many other ways. They have gone to IMF for the 20th time begging for loan. The Pakistan Prime Minister himself said that our allies do not want to see us with begging bowls. They want us to be a developed nation. Of course, everybody knows it. But you can't make a developed nation with Lashkar-Taiba. This is the message that Pakistanis have to be given. And nobody else can do it except India. Everybody will use Pakistan as a private army, which they did. We all knew in 1980s it happened. Pakistan became virtually a private army for America. So only India can do it and we have to strategize to do it. It is in our interest to do it. It is in the interest of Pakistanis to do it. It is in the interest of the regional peace and harmony to do it. And only India can do it. And the next is, what message this war has delivered, the most important message is that Israel was always known as the terror burster. But Israel's attack was always against countries which did not have nuclear weapons. So it is not that we called the bluff of nuclear weapons without undergoing a threat of use by a mad country which is determined to hate us. It is not that Pakistan wants to have a peaceful relationship with India and it has an atom bomb to show we will hit you if you hit. There is a DNA. That's what I will explain. Finally, what is the takeaways from this? On which there are differences, the narrative is not there. Factual takeaways can never be taken away by narratives. Narratives are a short-term affair. Pakistan has been narrating to its own people and to its allies that it won the 1947 war, that it won the 1965 war, 71 war, 99 war. Their textbooks have been written on this basis. Their diplomatic corps has been presenting it to the whole world. But that has not made Pakistan a victor. Narratives can never change the facts except for a short-term basis. So that's how I think those who think we are lost to the narrative. Okay, we lost narrative because we can't tell lies as well as they can tell. That other day, Satish ji said, Pakistan is a good storyteller for the last 70 years. They have specialized in it. They have hundreds of people trained to tell lies. But you can't tell lies. You are a professional country, you are a democratic country, you are a professional foreign policy people. You have an elected government, you are an opposition to be answered, an anarchic media. You cannot set the narrative like Pakistan does. So, I will not go into whether we have lost the narrative or got the narrative. I will only go into facts. Now Pakistan. What is this country? I was stunned when Satish ji told me the other day when he was, in fact I said, when I listened to your lecture then I knew how ignorant and illiterate I was. Then somebody said we are now fighting for Pakistan, but how will we get Indus water? Jinnah said, water? I would rather have a Pakistan as a desert than a Pakistan fertilized by water from Hindus. This is how the DNA of Pakistan started. We must face facts as they are. And in 1946, you are all talking about terror. In 1946, the Direct Action Day was a call for open terror. Not only open terror. The Bangladesh government website, I don't know whether it exists or not. After Mujibur Rahman came to power, the entire Calcutta riots, how it was planned by the British and the Muslim League was narrated in Bangladesh government website, which said 3 months kerosene and food ration was given to Muslim localities in advance of the direct action call by the British government. So we must understand Pakistan did not come into being as a political entity. There was a theological drive. We are basically philosophy. There is a difference between philosophy and theology or ideology. It is not any philosopher mentioned this difference. I was surprised that in the year 2006, in a private chat with the media people, it is Bill Clinton who said that the world is being taken over by ideology, which says the other side is always wrong and I am always right. We need philosophy. It says I am right, maybe you are also right, and that is what will save the world. This has been this country. We never asserted even our way of worship is right, or our food is right, or our dress is right. He said maybe your way is also right. And that's how this country has existed, will continue to exist, and that is how this country has the potential to become the model of the world. Pakistan denied this diversity. Pakistan was created in denial of this diversity, and everything happened in 1937. Many people do not know Pakistan was created not in 1947, but in 1937. The All India Sharia Act was passed. The title of the act is a stunning revelation. You can go and get it in the Google and read. That this Sharia Act is being passed on the demand made by the All India Muslim League leader Muhammad Ali Jinnah. Is it a justification to pass a law to divide the Hindus and Muslims? Until then, there are 15 states ruled by both Hindus and Muslim kings. I am not talking about the British India, where there was all the traditional laws were allowed to be followed. If the Muslims followed Hindu traditional law, they were allowed to be followed. The British government did not interfere with it till 1937. But in the rest of India, ruled by Nawabs and the Hindu kings, laws were passed that in respect of property matters, Muslims will be governed by the traditional Hindu law. This was the position till 1937. That was reversed because British government had decided to create Pakistan in 1937. Only after that assurance, Jinnah came to India. And Jinnah called for partition in 1940. And in 1947 it happened. It's all completely a pre-enacted drama. And that brought Pakistan into existence. And Pakistan came into existence. Okay, it has become a different country. We are a different country. But it wouldn't look at India that way. How it regarded India? It got arrested in history. India has forgotten history and moved ahead. For us, Pakistan is not a factor. But for Pakistan, India is the only factor. With the result, arrested by history, they wanted to continue this. Kashmir is the unfinished agenda of partition. We have forgotten partition. For them, partition continues. And that is how they began working on it. And the Western countries, quite foolishly, with the idea of containing a threatening socialist India, they supported Pakistan and became the spoiled child of the Cold War. They got so much money. And I am going to tell you how that money is reflected in Pakistan government's army's wealth, which I will relate later, about which there are researches. And what is? Now look at Pakistan. Born in Muslim League hate of the Hindus in 1946, it was never a political division. It was a hateful religious division. We must understand that, otherwise we cannot understand the origin of the hate that Pakistan has for India. We can never, unless you go into it, remember it. Then, what is Pakistan's nationalism? It's not me who is saying it. Christophe Zefferlo is a French author. He has written, Pakistan's nationalism is only anti-India. If India is not there, Pakistan will not exist. It's not only that. It is Syed Wali Raza Naza, is a Tufts University scholar. He wrote a book as to how Pakistan survives only by hating India, hating Hindus. So you must understand the structure of the Pakistan's DNA can never accept India. Unless we understand this, we are fools. So they peace with Pakistan, we may shake hands with. So anti-India is a pseudonym for anti-Hindu. For example, if India were only a country of Muslims, maybe Pakistan will not hate us. There is a religious element in Pakistan's DNA which runs it, we will continue to run it, and we have to counter it, and we are countering it. How we are countering it, we will go into it later, but it is a long-term project. Pakistan continues the Turk-Mughal tradition. Many people do not know, between 1947 and 1971, they could not frame a constitution. We had framed the constitution, moved ahead in 1950. They could not even put together a constituent assembly. They had a constituent assembly of which the chairman was one Mandal. And he ran away from Pakistan and he became a refugee in India. And in 1958, they put together some kind of constitution. When the constitution was announced, they sacked the Constituent Assembly, and Ayub Khan helped in the sacking of the Constituent Assembly, and within 30 days, the person who was made the president who sacked it, he was sacked by Ayub Khan and he captured power. It was there till 1971, the army was ruling. And in 1971, after this war, when Pakistan got divided, there was a setback in Pakistan's antipathy to India. That 5-6 years did make a difference. But Zia captured power in 1978, and the first thing he did was to hang the Prime Minister, Bhutto. And from then on, they all participated in the jihadi war in Afghanistan, and Pakistan was turned into a jihadi state. In administration, in law, in courts. You know what is the rape law in Pakistan? Kandahar Ahmed, who was the president of Pakistan, his son raped a woman. DNA test proved it. The Pakistan Supreme Court held DNA test may prove it, but according to Sharia, 4 eyewitnesses are required for rape. Since there are no 4 eyewitnesses, it is not a rape. This is Pakistan. Do we know it? This is the law in Pakistan. It's not a civilized nation. It can never become a civilized nation. It will never be allowed to become a civilized nation by the army, by the clergy. So this is not what we perceive as Pakistan. Here the secularists and our modernists, they may say, no, there are decent elements in Pakistan. Yes, there are decent elements everywhere. But one decent element in 1,000 is different from one indecent element in 1,000. How many indecent elements are there is the issue, and we have always been foolish in misjudging Pakistan. So, the jihadi Pakistan was born in 1980. They started the jihadi war in 1989. When virtually we lost Kashmir, we had to recover Kashmir. I was very closely associated with the Prime Minister at the time. On the 2nd of December 1989, VP Singh was sworn in as the Prime Minister, and Rubiya Syed, who was the daughter of Mufti Muhammad Syed, was kidnapped on the 8th of December. Mufti Muhammad Syed was the Home Minister. Home Minister's daughter was kidnapped. And the government of India was negotiating with the terrorists through the Home Minister. In fact, all of us rushed to the Prime Minister. In those days, cell phones were not available. I could not reach the Prime Minister. I told him, ask this Defense Home Minister to resign and then negotiate with the terrorists, get her released. After 3 days, let him become the Home Minister. No, it didn't happen. The Home Minister negotiated and got the daughter released by releasing dozens of terrorists. This was Pakistan-controlled Kashmir, which we were dealing with at that time. 1989, you see, in 2024, when Pahalgam terror attack takes place, it is the Pakistanis who shout against terror. Kashmiris rise up as one. Has it ever happened? We are talking about the delivery in terms of what happened in Operation Sindoor. See the shift. So, this Pakistan DNA has produced an army which has begun owning Pakistan. In diplomatic circles, it is said every country has an army. In Pakistan, the army has a country, which is absolutely true. It is not only in the political sense, it is not only the military sense. Pakistan was ruled by the army between 1958 to 1971, 13 years, 77 to 88, 11 years, 99 to 2008, 10 years, 34 years they directly ruled. The rest of the period they indirectly ruled. Everyone knows Pakistan, nothing happens without the Pakistan army nodding. So it is a country which is owned by an army. It is not in the political sense only. Many of us may recall in 1999, when the Kargil war started, the one man who did not know the war had been started was the Pakistan Prime Minister, Musharraf. It all came on television. So what is Pakistan Army? Pakistan's Army Incorporated was an article which was written on 11th October 2001 by Bloomsburg. It wrote that Pakistan Army has a foundation which is called the Fauji Foundation. It is not one of those foundations which invests its thing in government securities or anything. It owns companies. It owns tens and tens of companies, cement, steel, power companies. Mention any company. And then Professor Vaidyanathan, of course, who was associated with us, he wrote a beautiful research work which said that 70% of the market capitalization of Karachi Stock Exchange is represented by the Fauji Foundation company's shares. It controls the economy. It controls huge amount of money. The market capitalization of Karachi Stock Exchange is $43 billion. 71% of it is $30 billion. $34 billion. This is the amount of money, liquid money Pakistan government army has outside the budget. It has nothing to do with budget. Foreign governments cannot question. They have so much money to fund anti-India, anti-national, or even within their own country, they have the capacity to finance and kill people. And how many people they have killed, you see. In 1951, Liaquat Ali Khan was shot. 79, Bhutto was hanged. In the 88, Zia was killed. 2007, Benazir Bhutto was killed. In 2022, Imran was almost killed. He escaped by a hair's breadth. See the psychology. See how they name the missiles. They have only one enemy. There is no second enemy. Abdali, Ghori, Babar, Ghaznavi. These are all the missile names. What is the message you are giving to your own people and to India and to your army? See the Indian names. Agni, Prithvi, Brahmos, Nirbhay, Akash, Astra, Nag, Trishul, Shaurya. Do you see the difference between the two countries? Never mirror yourself as Pakistan. Pakistan is different and will continue to be different. Nobody can change Pakistan. And don't attempt to change Pakistan, attempt to deal with Pakistan. And they fought wars 47, 65, 71, 99. Thousands and thousands, 25,000 soldiers were killed on both sides. And their sides more, definitely. We are a total contrast. We are a democratic country. We had our constitution. And even today, if there is a dislike for Pakistan, it is Pakistan as a state and it is not Pakistan as following a particular religion in this country. So we must understand that our psychology is different and their psychology is different. And we have to deal with that psychology. Then, as I said, they are a theology, we are a philosophy. We are a democracy, they are our army-run country. So we repeatedly misjudged them. We are dealing with Pakistan. There is no Pakistan to deal with. There are 10 forces in Pakistan to deal with. Which force you will deal with? In the army there are factions. In the country there are factions. In politics there are factions. There is no one Pakistan to deal with. That is why Pakistan will sign an agreement and go back upon it. A person who is signing the agreement himself cannot implement the agreement. So, unless we understand the chaotic nature of Pakistan, the anarchic nature of Pakistan, you cannot sign an agreement with Pakistan. Now, coming to how we have been handling Pakistan. You all know repeatedly we went for Tashkent and then we went for all kinds of... then Vajpayee went to Lahore. He went to Lahore in, if I remember right, February to the 1999. And in April 1999, Pakistan started the Kargil War. Pakistan means Pakistan's army started the Kargil War. Maybe he should also make an attempt. He went to Pakistan. Suddenly he got down into Pakistan and went and attended the marriage of Nawaz Sharif's daughter. I suppose daughter or granddaughter, I don't know. On December 25th, 2015. December 25th, note the date. On the 2nd January, 7th day, Pathankot attack take place. This is Pakistan. Pakistan will say we have nothing to do with it. There are people who are dissatisfied with you, they are doing it. This has been their technique. So, America has a very convenient way of explaining it. They found out in 2008 the word non-state actor. The non-state actor acting within the state against whom the state cannot act is also a party to the terror. And we have been, now only the Prime Minister said we will not make a distinction between state and non-state actors. Is the first declaration that has come after 2008. Condoleezza Rice came and said non-state actors are doing this. What a dishonesty. And we are buying it. And we certify Pakistan. We went as far as to certify in Pakistan that we are not the only victim of terror. Pakistan is also a victim of terror. How much of a misjudgment, a criminal misjudgment of a state which is born in crime, continues to be in crime, promoting crime all over the world. It has its link everywhere. And Osama bin Laden was housed in Pakistan because Afghanistan refused to do it. Osama bin Laden was why Afghanistan is upset with Pakistan. They made Osama bin Laden operate from Afghanistan. And Afghanistan said, we are not going to hide him. You take care of him. Open. Can there be any distinction between Pakistan and terror? Leave India. If Osama bin Laden is protected by the army of Pakistan, which is known to the whole world, so he began preparing. What the preparation is, I will go into it later. I got it from Pakistan government defense website. What is our preparation? So, in 2016 Uri attack, we sent our army to attack inside the crossing the LOC. In 2019 Balkot, we sent our air force to attack inside their territory. Gradually we were upping the ante against terror. In this situation, this 2019 was perhaps the turning point in the whole approach to Pakistan, which had begun changing in 2015. And what happened in Operation Sindoor? The military preparations for that, because we knew we don't need a warfare where we will have to attack China from within our border. We need a warfare model to attack Pakistan from within our border. This we began preparing when the CDS Mr. Rawat was there. I am going to quote the Pakistan government's defense website, Pakistan defense site, that first used the word non-contact warfare. Non-contact warfare means you don't contact the border or the country. It says, this is what the Pakistan defense website had to say in July 2020 about how India was climbing on to non-contact warfare. It described the induction of long-range missiles, high-precision smart weapons, unmanned systems, robots, satellites primarily driven by technology and aimed at achieving a quick, decisive victory by promoting the delivery of destructive kinetic energy. It is a defense language. This is called non-contact warfare. This the Pakistan defense website noticed in 2020. It says, the Pakistani side went on to say, the concept has recently gained currency within the Indian strategic community. It added, the Balakot strikes and the earlier surgical strikes claimed by India point to a strong desire of gaining psychological ascendancy without suffering casualties, simultaneously avoiding escalation violence. As recently as January 2015, I am surprised that in 2020 they say as recently as 2015, the Indian Army Chief reiterated non-contact warfare is important and a major consideration in the planned restructuring of the Indian Army. This is the Sri Ganesh for Operation Sindoor. Without this, it wouldn't have happened. So, Operation Sindoor preparation, it was a long preparation. Unless you look at it, as I said, from a helicopter perspective, you cannot understand it is not just a military project. It could never be a military project. You cannot cross and hit a country other than Israel and America. No other country has had the guts to cross borders and hit because they don't have the stature for it. It's not that they don't have the need for it. You need the stature, global stature, the leader, the country, the economy. This preparation went on. That's what I am going to relate to you. Know all this happened. How this transformation of candlesticks and brimos took place. It's not just a psychic shift. There was a paradigm shift. Sorry. First, from a weak leadership in India, we acquired a strong leadership in 2019. 2014. From 1989 to 2014, we had rickety coalitions and we had no majority party ruling the country, and we had prime ministers who were there for 4 months, 11 months, 12 months. This country was a completely destabilized country. And first shift took place in 2014 when we had a strong leader who was backed by a strong majority. Imagine any other government, a Devagowda ruling the country. Would we have thought of Operation Sindoor? The people of India must be congratulated for electing a single party government and a leader who deserved it. Second thing is, a prime minister, we must put ourselves in 2014 and see how the world looked at our prime minister. He was regarded as a semi-criminal. He didn't have visa to enter countries. A man who had such great trust deficit with the world. He transformed himself into the most admired leader. Unless you go into the preparation that went into it. Any other person would have thought of appointing a huge PR agency to correct his image. He didn't do it. And he did something different. Extraordinarily different. That's what I'm going to tell you. That he became the most admired leader. The proof is from 2019 till today, the Morning Consult survey of America says he is the most admired leader in the world with the greatest amount of public approval. And in all other countries, the Prime Minister toured 73 countries in 10 years. He went to Israel, India's outcast, which no Prime Minister visited. He went there. Today, it is India's closest ally. In Operation Sindoor, its technology plays a very important role. Without this shift, Operation Sindoor project would not have been undertaken with the kind of efficiency with which we had undertook it. And he was the first, in fact, yesterday I was talking to the Australian High Commissioner who came here. He said, sir, we consider India as the country with the closest mental alignment. This is what he told me. And after 29 years, the Prime Minister went to Pakistan. Before that, only Indira Gandhi had gone there. Such an important country. And with which we can develop so, in fact, all the rare earth minerals which China controls is supplied by Australia. That's a country with which we can develop very close association. Forgotten. Who will go for 30 hours of flight? And see how he travels. As of May 2025, he has visited 41 countries once, 14 countries twice. The UK, Saudi Arabia included 8 countries thrice. Lanka 4 times. 3 countries including Germany and China 5 times. Including China 5 times. Germany 6 times. Japan, Russia, UAE 7 times. France 8 times. And US 10 times. Now you can relate why Morning Consult rates him as the most admired leader in the world. Work has gone into it. I had seen editorials being written. He is a non-resident Prime Minister. This is the Indian discourse. He built powerful connections with people, regardless of... See, a Prime Minister visits a country and he meets with people, our own people, thousands and thousands of Indians who are uncared for. Wherever he went, he addressed a rally of 30,000 people, 20,000 people, 50,000 people. They are your ambassadors. They go and talk about you, about your country, about its development, about its leadership, its politics. Who will? They are the unpaid ambassadors for India. He leveraged them. It's a long-term project. Then, if India had been a fragile economy like in 2014, do you mean to say you could have taken action today? From a fragile 5, you have become the prime 4. That is how Operation Sindoor becomes possible. And then, as I told you, from traditional warfare, you have gone into non-contact warfare. It's not an easy transition. When you wanted to buy S-400, America, the friend of India at that time, a great friend of India, Trump threatened us with the technological sanctions under Katasa. We stood our ground. He said, we will buy. And we bought. But for S-400, Pakistan could have demolished very large strategic and defense assets of India. We could stop them. How much opposition the Prime Minister faced? Global opposition. And then back in India, when he wanted to buy the Rafale, the whole country rose up and said, this man has taken money. The case went right up to the Supreme Court. If the Supreme Court had not stepped in and stopped this nonsense, we would have had no Rafale. This is what a strong leader could do. A man who was leading a weak coalition, who is a weak leader himself in spite of a strong party, could never have done it. These are all the preparations that went into it. And foreign dependence to Atmanirbhar Bharat. When he began talking about defense production by India, Atmanirbhar Bharat, people laughed. And even the opposition Prime Minister said, Make in India can never be a success. This was the atmosphere. Negative atmosphere. The media criticizing. We can't do it. We don't have the technology. I recall in 2000 when technological sanctions were put on India in 1998, 99, I'm recalling my 2001. I am recalling my conversation with Abdul Kalam. He said, Mr. Gurumurthy, somehow please tell the Prime Minister that the sanctions should continue for another 4 or 5 years. Then only our technology will develop. Otherwise, we will never develop our technology. We have become so idle even in thinking. Leave aside the action. You know, in those 3 years only, 2001, 2002, 3, 4, India posted the first ever current account surplus, aggregating to $25 billion. Only in those 3 years, ever in its history. That's why when Chidambaram became the finance minister, unusually he paid a compliment to the previous government for having left a strong external sector. Do we relate that our country has the capacity to perform and perform well? And world appreciated it because this performance was without undue foreign investment. That is why they said India was a domestically driven economy. Domestic consumption, domestic investment, domestic savings. So from foreign dependence, we had about 34% or so our equipments manufactured by our companies. Defense equipment. Today it is 88%. Of course, there are many critical parts which we still, but we make it. We can get it. And we have the capacity to get it, diplomatic leverage to get it, money to get it, influence to get it. But we produce 88% of our equipments manufactured in India. So these are the factors which makes India. Today if America says, I will hyphenate you with Pakistan, do it. We can say so. 20 years before we couldn't say so. No, America has changed. We have also changed. When the G7 countries, when the NATO countries and European Union, they were up against us, we ensured that 2 countries stopped their hostility against us. We built up such powerful association with them. Italy and France. We also know how to play global politics today. We know how to divide them. We have our own power, we have our intelligence, our competence, our people are in high positions in different parts of the world. We are no foolish country today. So we can take on. So, no, America has done this, America, let them do it. We are a confident country today. All this we should understand because the negative things flowing in India are so much. I wanted to say look at positive things also in this country. So I don't want to go into how Operation Sindoor was achieved. Many people would have told you. All that I want to say is that India's rise was inversely matched by Pakistan's fall. Pakistan falling and falling and falling, it may do any narrative. It will never be acceptable to the world because except those countries which have decided to dislike India, no country can accept Pakistan. It is very clear, that is why the Pakistan Prime Minister himself said that we are carrying begging bowls. That is the narrative of Pakistan. We are not picking up that narrative. That Pakistan shot down these aircrafts. That of course the aircrafts are lost. But we made them go to America and beg for peace is something that America, whether it came to their rescue or not, is a different thing. That they went to America and asking for peace was accepted by Najam Sethi himself, Pakistan's one of the most celebrated journalists. He said, yes, we only went to America for peace. Why should you go to America for peace if you are winning the war? But our media, our leaders, our opposition has a very different view. For them, everything is votes and politics. And in the process, they are confusing the people. But we should not be contributing to the confusion that prevails in this country. And as I already said, what are the takeaways? In this, the biggest takeaway is we have robbed the place of Israel as the terror buster by proving that we can challenge nuclear threat, which Israel had not to do. Now finally, what are the takeaways? We said and avenged Pahalgam terror. Pahalgam terror, it is not that the terrorists decided to ask the religion of the people and shoot because it was their idea. No, it was the agenda. They were instructed to do it. They wanted to set this country on fire. But this country has digested far too many big things. And there was they shot the Hindus. We are Muslims, we are killing you. But no Hindu reacted against anybody here because they knew it is being done by Pakistan and not by Muslims. We avenged that attack. I will tell you about two families from Kerala who went to Pahalgam. One on the earlier day, one on that day, and that family lost that lady lost her husband. But the family which went on the earlier day, they revealed their experience to me. So when one fellow came and they also took the photograph of the person and gave it to the NIA. It was on the 21st. The man came and asked, what religion do you belong? They were surprised because in our country nobody asks anybody like that. So when they were engaging them in a conversation, the young boy, he went from behind and shot the photograph of that person who asked this question. They didn't know what happened. Afterwards, they came out. And the next day when the attack took place, they immediately called the NIA and said, this is what happened and this is the photograph of that person. And the first person was identified, the first killer, by that family, which was asked this question. So, we avenged that attack. We avenged those crooks and the promoters. We said we will chase them and kill them. A very new India. And we went into Pakistan, 250 kilometers. And Pakistan's Prime Minister came to know about it after the attack was over, after we told them we have attacked you. Second, Pakistan's war was a reaction. Obviously they had to react, they reacted. And when peace came, of course we gave them, and they had to rush for peace. Then the thing was, after we accepted the ceasefire, Pakistan's army kept shooting us, shooting drones and missiles. Your army, people will not obey the army leader. The army leader will not obey the Prime Minister. This is the country you are dealing with. That's why we had to say, yes, Operation Sindoor is still on, because they are on. And India's policy on terror stands declared once and for all to Pakistan, to the whole world, and no one has objected to that. No, don't take this stand. No, how can a land of Buddha and Gandhi should do it, as Bill Clinton said in 1998 when we exploded the atom bomb. Bill Clinton said, oh, a land of Gandhi and Nehru, Gandhi and Buddha has done it. And we were always a land of Buddha and Gandhi. Did you respect us? Only when we lifted the atom bomb in our hand, you came to negotiate with us. The world respects power. The Prime Minister made it very clear. Terror and talk, trade and terror can never go together. And we have added one more. That blood and water cannot flow together. In fact, the girl who met me in Kerala, she said, sir, I have not even told this to my mother because my mother swooned. Blood was flowing from my father's head. And when the Prime Minister said that blood and water cannot flow together, sir, my mind immediately recalled how blood was flowing from my father's head. And I videographed what she said. She said, sir, please communicate it to the Prime Minister. And I sent the video to the Prime Minister. It's not for propaganda, it is for understanding how people who were affected. Today, maybe how can you say it is Operation Sindoor? How can you say? It is a civilizational attack and we have responded civilizationally. It is not a military attack. It's an attack on our civilization. In our country, everything will be negatively viewed, and negative viewing is democratic dissent. Very wrong approach to deal with a country like Pakistan, which has nothing to do with democracy, nothing to do with freedom. It has everything to do only with hating India, which is its nationalism, not according to us. And then Prime Minister said very clearly, talk only, POK, nothing else. Open declarations. These are things, policy declarations, which would not have happened but for Pahalgam. And then, as I said this, nuclear blackmail is once and for all called, and America cannot interfere hereafter because Pakistan will throw atom bomb on you. Many of us may not be aware. When Dovalji was the director of the Vivekananda International Foundation during the UPA regime, a project was given to VIF. I can say this because now it is, maybe Mr. Ambassador Shukla is aware of it. If Pakistan attacked India, because we have given no first use offer, what will be the collateral damage to India before India responds? Of course, we produced a report and gave what George Fernandez said in 2001, that if you throw one atom bomb, you will not be able to throw the second one, is what our report proved. That will be the stand that India should be taking, that you cannot be afraid of dealing with Pakistan. Pakistan is a frightened country, actually. Our policy should be based on facts. Don't go by narrative. These are what all I said is a fact. Narratives are lies, mostly. And we need not have to be bothered about narratives. We should correct the narratives through the facts. So my feeling is the Vivekananda International Foundation is a nationalistic think tank. It will not tell lies, but it will not buckle under lies. Thank you very much.